YouTubers, hello, subscribers, kisses to all of you. I hope that you're having a wonderful Monday. 3,000 subscribers. Woohoo, we did it. I owe it all to you guys. I am literally so excited. And I cannot express how grateful I am for 3,000 subscribers. It is really a milestone for me. And, I know other channels have hundreds and thousands. I don't know how excited they are about that number, but I know I'm excited about my 3,000. I am content. I am excited about it. I like my little close-knit family. And if I had to, pick a number, 3,000 would be my number. So thank you guys. Meghan Markle and her shenanigans, the things that she do to keep herself in the news, to keep herself relevant, to destroy those that once loved her, and the constant vitriol that she places on a family that doesn't deserve it. The bottom line with her racism claims, it's irresponsible. It's wrong for her to do something that's just derogatory towards a whole family that was nothing but nice and kind and generous to her. And you can't fake what they did for her. You can't fake the wedding. You can't fake Charles walking her down the aisle. You can't fake them giving her what she needed to become, whatever she wanted to become within the royal family. And instead of accepting and treating her family with dignity and respect, she wants to throw racism names around. They're racist, they're racist, they're racist. But what I don't understand is how does she not see that her name being the Duchess of Sussex affects her as well, because if she trashes the royal family and the family goes under because of some stupid stuff she even said, then your name, the Duchess of Sussex, will be obsolete. So if you take them down, you're going down with them. You're not doing anything over here to show us that you're this big talented person. No, you're a D-lister for a reason. You're a D-lister because that's where you were, that's where you should have stayed at, and that's where your career was. But instead, you wanted to pretend like you was this mega star, and you knew all these celebrities that were coming to your wedding, and you were this big A-lister before Harry. And that's not true, because 90% of us didn't even know who she was. And so now she's got everything buzzing again because she wants attention. She's an attention seeker. And to be honest with you, we wasn't reporting things about Meghan over here. It wasn't interesting. No one was over here talking about Meghan other than Meghan. And so now, once again, she is being talked about because of the word racism. And you cannot tell me that those that have already come out against her, like Whoopi Goldberg, Kelly, Megyn Kelly, Candace Owens, are not coming for her. And they should. They should remind us why we shouldn't believe these two. I know I have 3,000 lovely subscribers, but I'm only getting the word out to us. But I think it's extremely wrong for Meghan to do what she's doing. And I'm highly for them stripping her of her titles. And I can honestly say, to me, this is the first time that I really do believe in my heart and soul that they need to remove those titles from her, because she needs to understand her actions result in consequences, not this continued game that she plays with the race card, because people don't know the backstory. Speaking of people don't know the backstory, not Fox News, but TGI, it's TGI. So Claudia's on that show, and also it's Funky Diva and Al Reynolds. I'm speaking directly to you guys if you get this message. That I know that you guys have you report it and then you give your opinion, and it's awesome. But what I see is that you're not getting the full story. And this is to Al Reynolds, because he's all about getting to the backstory. He's all about finding the details in the information. And all I have to say is just watch one of my videos to see if you can grasp on to this woman's behavior and how she's treating her family. No one wants Meghan to be I do not want to see Meghan be treated wrongly because she was someone did something racist against her. I don't want to see that. And so that hasn't happened. So I can't feel sorry for her because the things that she said about it is a lie. Sorry, I couldn't get it out. She went on the Oprah Winfrey show and lied about it. And we have receipts to that, allegedly, because you got to say that on this show. So their comments and their response to it was that Catherine is jealous of Meghan because when Meghan came on the scene, they could tell how Catherine was jealous of her. What you didn't see, Claudia, is how Catherine involved her kids in Meghan's wedding. She stepped aside and worded something plain and general to her wedding, and she let her have her moment. She also went to a game with her, a Serena tennis match, to show Meghan that she supports her and her friends in whatever endeavors. She also, Claudia, got on stage with Meghan, and they formed a group to try to help. And I could have the details wrong, but the most part is, Claudia and the rest of you, that Meghan had formed the Fab Four. Catherine and William brought Meghan and Harry into this Fab Four to fight mental health challenges that, William and Catherine is still doing, okay? Unlike these two. And so Meghan and Harry were a part of something. Meghan didn't want to do it anymore. She wanted to be in Hollywood and brand herself, as everyone knows. And then she had to come up with some type of story to say that she wasn't the reason that left the royal family. It wasn't her fault. And is it ever her fault? Isn't it always someone else's fault? Isn't it Samantha's fault? Isn't it her father's fault? Isn't it the Queen and Philip and Catherine and William? And hey, let's not forget about the other people that she mentioned in this book. And I heard that they were at hotels, and this is allegedly, that an inside scoop that Meghan and Omen Scobie or someone was passing notes in a hotel because they didn't want a paper trail, because Meghan is being sued by her sister and there's a paper trail, and now she's got to give up evidence. And so to avoid going through that again, she's learning from her mistakes. But my point is that you're judging her because of what she's saying. And it's not fair for one side to not have a voice and to continue to be attacked by this entity called Meghan. And if you want to know the truth, the real truth, watch some of our videos and you'll see how deceptive and savage she is. Like you said, Claudia. I did leave you guys a note too, because I disagreed with what you said. Moving on. And the reason why I think that's important to what I just said is Claudia and the other two gentlemen that are on that station has a huge platform. And a lot of Black African Americans watch that show. And their opinion matters. And what they said, I disagreed with and feel like that they needed to know that. Because if we continue to okay Meghan's behavior for no other reason but to trash and take down a dynasty, it's not good. Because who hurts when she does that? The people of England. They depend on the royal family to speak for them, to do things for them, to raise awareness, to work on inflation, to work on the things that are concerning to their citizens. But if we are supporting Meghan, knowing that she's a fraud, that could affect those people. It could affect the UK entirely with Meghan's shenanigans. It is dangerous. I never thought that we would be here, but my honest personal opinion that the things that Meghan does affects others, and she doesn't care because it's all about her. It's all about her victimhood. She's a victim and she loves to blame. She's a manipulator, she's a con artist, and she's a bully. She's narcissistic and she's a psychopath. And to my understanding, what a psychopath is a person that has no feelings after they have done a bad thing. And so while Omid Scobie is trying to distance itself from the whole situation and not apologize and pretend that some fairy came down and put those names in a book is a bunch of crap. He knows he put those names in a book. He knows he sent that copy to the publisher and told them to have the translators translate it. And now he's attacking the translators as if they are at fault. And all they're doing is going to their job, doing their job, and going home and be back with their family. They're not involved with Meghan and Harry's shenanigans. And let me know if they even attempt to make them lose their job over this debacle stuff. We will talk about it here. And so there's a pattern that Meghan does. The 2-hour car chase. It's a pattern. First, she exaggerates the scene. Then she points the fingers at people that are doing their job and going on with the go on, meaning the paparazzis were doing their job, taking her picture that she wanted. Just like the translators. The translators came in the room, got the paperwork that Omid Scobie gave them to translate, and now they're in the hot seat, just like those paparazzis. She doesn't care about who she hurts, because if she did, then she would understand the consequences behind her behavior, that those people could have lost their job, the paparazzis. They have a job to do. They are certified to do that job. But when Meghan comes in there and lies on them, and she's some global person, then who do we look at? Who do we attack? We attack those people that Meghan has sent us out to attack. She sends us out to attack. She sends the Sussex squad out to attack her family, her in-laws. Anyone that crosses her, they're going for it. No, and then this is, like I said, this is her MO. She gets into a scene. She exaggerated about the color of Archie's skin and how that conversation went down. She took it from Harry. She made it into a race bait debate. And I don't understand how someone that wasn't in a room can interpret something totally different from everybody else's interpretation. But no, let's move back to what I was saying because I was going too far. No. She takes a subject, she takes it and manipulates it, and then she spills it to us. I know Obi Scobie is taking one of her books, Deflect, and I heard that they were going over scenarios on how, if this comes up, how will we react to this? What if this happens? What if everybody comes after you, Meghan? Well, I'll just deal with it like this. Well, what if they come after you, Obi Scobie? I'll just tell them and deny. They're lying. They're running around playing games, and it's a game, and it's not funny to me. No, that's what she does. That's why my channel exists. That's why I'm here, because the lie fest that she does has come to a head. And I really do believe that this isn't rocket scientist, and everybody knows her deception. And the person, which I don't know his name, that is planning on trying to bring a law into trying to take their titles is the best option. If they don't sue, they should at least take the titles, because there should be consequences for her behavior. If there's this racist, Meghan, then why are you using the name Duchess of Sussex? That's why this story doesn't make sense. You can't, every time she's announced as the Duchess of Sussex. She's announced with a racist name. Because when you attack one entity, you attack it all. Your name is racist. Why are you using something that is racist? If you hate them so much, why are you using their name and their privileges that you have to use it? Without that name, you are nothing. If they strip you from your title, the Duchess, Americans, you will find out really quick who your friends are in Celebrityville. Because they are no longer going to look at you as royalty because it's been stripped from you. And good idea. Guess what? This week we're going to find out what happens. They're moving fast, and they should. It should be a swift, fast reaction to their behavior. And the only reason why I would sue would be to get to the bottom of it and to investigate. Because remember the last time they investigated Meghan's bullying, they realized that she was this big bully, so they buried it so they wouldn't embarrass her. The things that they could say about Meghan, it would rip her apart. It would be a tit for tat. But who would lose? It wouldn't be the royal family that would lose out on the tit for tat. It would be Meghan. Because she's already did a slap detour when the Queen said recollections may vary. I don't think that we need to just pass her behavior along as let's just move on. Okay, so that was the intro. Let's see what we have, guys. Let's see. Remember when she was in line begging? Sorry. Remember when Meghan was in line begging, had Harry begging for her part in the Disney movie? That's stuff right there. She was still a royal. She had just had Archie. She was planning and plotting in. Look, I need all the jobs we can get because we're moving to Montecito and blase, blase, blase. The deceit, the deception, the nastiness, the core of Meghan. There's something rotten in Rottenville. Meghan has managed to put herself into a situation that a lot more people are just fed up. And to the point where they don't even want to mention her anymore. They don't want us talking about her anymore. They're just done with the whole to-do. Okay, just a second. I can tell when I'm sleepy, and I can tell when I'm really wide awake. So when I'm sleepy, I'm doing those videos at night. It's 2 or 3 o'clock in the morning. A little bit has got on, I'm done. So I feel like I'm refreshed. Just a second. Okay, so here's the deal, guys. Everyone is talking about stripping. Take the titles. Take the titles. Take the titles. They need to do something. And to my understanding, they are looking at all their options. And I think that whatever option they come up with, it needs to be a really powerful move. Because, I said how we all going to go into different stages, upset, angry. I think I'm at the stage of I'm done. Like, enough is enough. Because she's not going to stop. She is not going to stop. I thought she would have after Spare and after the therapy session, but she has not. She continues her vitriol. And if they don't get in there and do something quickly and fast, she's going to continue to do something to damage the royal family. And saying a family is racist is one of the, like Paula M. said, is almost saying someone murdered you or, it's not on that line, but it's a really bad thing. It's a very sensitive, heightened thing. And for someone to point the finger like Meghan, to blame the royal family that did that on racism, and we have already debunked what was said, is unacceptable. So here we go.
For the big story, and while my pundits will soon be giving their 2 cents on the recent pandemonium in the palace, the Sun newspaper are reporting that the king may consider stripping the Sussexes of their royal titles. Is this a worthy sanction after these unfounded allegations about the king and the Princess of Wales emerged this week? Well,
what did he say?
The Sussexes of the royal titles. Is this a worthy sanction after these unfounded allegations?
Yes, it's a worthy sanction. And it is not getting back at anyone. It's like a kid being bad. Like, okay, Kara, time out. It's time for you to go to timeout. So it's time for King Charles to put Meghan and Harry in timeout. Because, you know, his speech, which I hope I let you guys listen to again. He said, he says, I forgot, so I need to, something about, you are going to be judged for the things that you did by your grandkids and the things that you didn't do. Harry, you are stripping your kids of having any relationship with your side of the family. Meghan is a lost cause. She was never going to have them see the kids. She set the tone in the beginning. This side of the family won't see me, Harry, or the kids when she didn't invite them to the wedding. She said, oh no. You're luckily you're seeing it on TV, because if it was up to me, I wouldn't even let you watch it on the TV. That's how savage she is. Then some miracle, King Charles walks her down the aisle. The racist Claudia, Funky Diva, and Al Reynolds. The one that she said that was racist to her was the same person that walked her down the aisle, flew in a choir, African-American choir, to sing for her. Okay? Let me say it again. To sing for Meghan. They rolled out the red carpet and gave her a 30 million pound wedding. Gave her 2 homes, gave her money to renovate it, gave her clothes and whatever she needed to make her comfortable, and told her that go at your own pace, we will be here for you. They accepted her into the royal fold and they made her a senior royal. But he's racist. And see, that's why sometimes we have to sit back and say, wait a minute, let me think about this, because this ain't making no sense. Not what I saw. Ain't gonna go into that Trump thing, because I know what I saw there too. But moving on. He is not the subject.
About the King and the Princess of Wales emerged this week.
The King. Juanita, if you see this video, Meghan has accused the King. Remember the Berlin movie? The King. The King. When he was coming to town to see the Berlin sisters for the first time. In the movie, it says, the King. The King. In other words, get ready. He's here. And everybody's getting ready. They line up and the King is here. She said that it was the King that was racist. Then she goes over to her sister-in-law and decides to try to damage her reputation because she hates it. And what Claudia said was earlier, and I should let you listen to it, but let's just move on. So much to do. She said that Catherine was jealous of Meghan. And I disagree with her, because I never seen any signs as to if that would be true. But I do see it with the other way around, because I felt like Catherine and everybody else was opening up the door for Meghan and letting her, get her bearings. And I saw them trying to form a relationship with someone that they were never going to be able to relate to. And although she likes to say that she was the one that was so ready for this relationship to be a great relationship, she was the one that sabotaged it. And she has honestly killed anything of reconciliation, if there was ever going to be. I think she's doing it on purpose. I think that she wants to bring such a big wedge between Harry and his father and his family that he never goes back there ever again, and never want to. But he's so wrapped up into cult land, into puppet land, into making her happy, that he doesn't even see Al Reynolds What about the relationships that Meghan has destroyed between Harry and his family? Because I don't believe that Harry is all in on talking about his family as racist, especially when he went back and started backtracking about it and saying that it was something else that Meghan has taught him along their journey. No, this woman is conniving, she is dangerous, and she is not playing games. And Harry has no voice. What a lonely life. What a lonely existence.
Let's get the views of fearless royal author and biographer Angela Levin. Angela, what do you make of this, the royal racism row? Do you think it was a publicity stunt to sell more copies of this book?
Well, I'm sure it was one thing that they'd set up. It was either a publicity stunt or they wanted to be absolutely as nasty as possible.
Right.
It's both. Both of that. Both of that.
Sell more copies of this book?
Both of them.
Well, I'm sure it was one thing that they'd set up. It was either a publicity stunt or they wanted to be absolute.
Yes, it was a publicity stunt for Omen Scobie. He needed that so he can sell his books. And then Meghan did it because she wanted everybody to know who the racist was so she could do exactly what's going on right now. Debates. Poor Meghan. She's still upset about it. I do believe you got to give the Americans a minute to make it register. They're just now finding out. TMZ said it today. They're confused. They're trying to figure it out. And I think that they're more on the side of, you got to feel sorry for the family because this keeps happening. That's what was said. People are turning. Meghan's cried whoop for the last time.
Absolutely as nasty as possible.
Right.
She's nasty. She tries to be as nasty as possible, and I don't understand how I'm just going to take myself for a moment, and I'm just going to pretend that someone has done what the royal family has done to me. I would have the biggest guilt just sitting on my heart every day. Every time I woke up, I would be constantly reminded of what I've done. No, she has no remorse. She's loving this. She's running around in hotel rooms. I do believe that. I do believe that she's running around in LA in hotel rooms, passing notes to Obi Scobie. Yes, here. And don't forget to put this book right here with the names in it. Send that to the translators, to the publishers. And then he gets on TV and acts stupid and pretend like we stupid. We know that he is the only one. It's his baby. I'm not giving my baby to anyone unless I know that they're going to take care of it. And why would he give something to someone and then they put it in a book? It appeared. Catherine and Charles' name just appeared in the book. It was a total different manuscript altogether. And then he's not upset. He's okay with the situation. He wants to get to the bottom of it too. You can still be upset and trying to get to the bottom of it at the same time, Omen Scobie. No, you're not upset because you wanted us to know. That was the purpose of your book. You told us months ago that you were going to name the royal races. And here it is. And then somewhere along the way, you and Meghan decided to conjure up one more person. Or maybe it was always two, and then she changed the character in mid-sentence. Let's change it to. Let's don't put who everybody thought it was, the Queen. No. Meghan says, let's make it Catherine. Even if it's not true, it's still going to destroy her. That's evil. Come on, Claudia. Do your homework. She's going to start doing her homework. I know it's a lot to cover, but that's her first expression. So I'm going to give the Funky Divas and all that, they don't want to have the platform. Let's move on.
And I think that I've been waiting. I think if Harry and also Meghan don't actually threaten to sue the author, then there's something really wrong, because that means they've accepted it. They might even like it.
No,
And
of course it is. She's already come out and said that she didn't want the names to come out in public this way. In other words, I wanted the names to come out. I just didn't want them to come out the way that they did. Evil. What was the point of telling us about something that was just, I ain't going into that. Stupid. We're going to call it stupid. What was the point of you doing this? Being mean and nasty and trying to justify being mean and nasty by saying how Catherine wasn't there for you in your mental state. And then on top of that, she's the racist. So the question is, are you getting back at her because she didn't befriend you and be there for you? What about how you treated your best friend, Jessica Maloney, threw her to the wolves? What about Millie, when you befriended her and she showed you around and then you kicked her to the curb as soon as it came out that you were in a relationship? What about, I think her name is Ruba. I know I'm saying her name incorrectly. When you disrespected her mom, when she said, "Oh, Harry was very nice, but you were unpleasant." What about Harry's friends when they said that, you were very mean and disrespectful to them and they just couldn't be his friend anymore because of you? This is all you, but you want to explain away everything because it's not your fault and it's their fault. What enemy would do what she's done, Claudia? Everyone, Iman, those of you that are confused about the racism and unconscious bias and all this stuff that they keep making up over there and make it feel like Harry said it. Meghan never said that they were racist, but then she's upset because the names came out this way. She's upset or disappointed that the names came out this way, but not disappointed that we saw it. Come on. This is stupidity on another level because she's talking about something that happened before she got married to him. And now she keeps bringing it up like it's a conversation to be had because she's the one that looks like the idiot. Who would treat their family members this way? And here's the kicker. If she was having these correspondence back and forth with King Charles, which I don't believe, then during that back and forth and whatever explanation that she got, why are you still discussing something that you said yourself was settled? Why are you still harping on it? No, you want people to feel sorry for you, like Claudia them. And so you're going to become this big victim for everyone. And everybody's going to say, poor little Meghan. But if you stop and really think about who's being affected by it, there's people on the other side of Meghan's vitriol. Behind her crying wolf. Because she keeps doing that. She's the person that keeps crying wolf. Look at me and look at me. And then we're going to stop looking at her and she's going to be so upset. She's going to come up with another gimmick, another 2-hour car chase, another racism, another book, something to keep them in the news. She doesn't care. Meghan is strategic. She does several things in one whop. It's not just one thing. When Meghan does something, she does it for multiple reasons. And this one was for publicity. This was one for to trash. This is one, she wanted everybody to come start patting her on the back. She wants Claudia them to say that poor little Meghan. Okay.
Just appalling.
And have they come out and spoken out in defence of
No,
King Charles?
they haven't said a word. They're copying the royals. They can't bear it when the royals don't speak.
Yeah.
And now
they can't. They want the back and forth. Meghan is trying to provoke a back and forth. She wants that so bad it kills her. And she keeps trying to come up with something to help bait them. And this is what I don't understand, WME. Why do you continue to work with someone that is not workable? Okay.
But
I'm going to move
chosen
on.
this one time, to keep their mouths shut and say nothing.
Yes.
Okay, this
What
just came up.
King Charles.
There's no escaping the so-called royal race row. It's still rumbling on.
These women are
Today,
pro-Meghan, so
suggesting that
let's
Omid
see.
Scobie's agent did send a draft version of his book, naming the people at the centre of the scandal, to a Dutch publisher. Copies of Endgame.
What? Let me turn her down. Let me slow her down, I should say. What?
Reports today suggesting that Omid Scobie's agent did send a draft version of his book.
No, you don't say. That is so shocking. Let's put that down as a shocker. It is a shocker because he's been lying. He's been lying and talking about he doesn't know how in the world these names got in the book. Hello, Omid Scobie. Yes, you don't remember? Here, they're reminding you. You gave a copy to the publisher. You gave a copy of your baby to the publisher to translate. What do you think the translator was going to do? Say, yeah, I put it in the book? This is like, he lied. He lied. Omid Scobie lied to us. Do you hear me? What else is he lying about? I know this is rude to do. Claudia, you see what I'm saying? He has lied. You have to get the backstory. And Al Reynolds usually do. Maybe he was a little tired. I will listen to him every day. They're on Fox News. It's called TGI. TGI, okay?
Naming the people at the centre of the scandal to a Dutch publisher. Copies of Endgame in the Netherlands were pulled from the shelves last week after
I want to hear her
today,
say it again.
suggesting that Omid Scobie's agent did send a draft version of his book, naming the people at the centre.
You liar. Liar, liar, pants on fire. Hold on. Liar, liar, pants on fire. His agent did send a copy of the book. They found the copy that he sent. What did he think? The agent was going to say that I put the names in the book. Omid Scobie gave me a copy, the agent. Omid Scobie gave me a copy, and after that, I went in there and I put in the two names. Or, no, that's not what happened. When he got it to... when it got to the translators, that's when they put it in the book and it was transcribed that way. Then they asked Omid Scobie does he feel remorse, or, do you want to apologize to everyone? No, because I want to get to the bottom of it just like you. Well, we didn't got to the bottom of it. Are you sorry now? No, you're not sorry. He can't even go out. He can't even fix it. His story is unraveling, and it reeks of lies, and it reeks of Meghan. It reeks of a gimmick. It reeks of a plan that they concocted to put these names in a book. He gave it to the agent. The agent gave it to the translator. She transcribed it. He put the name in the book on purpose. And then Meghan, now she wants to let us know that, she's sorry that it happened this way, but she's definitely not sorry that it happened because they planned it. They did it on purpose. You can't tell me that they didn't do it on purpose to rile it back up. And now she has nothing to say. I'm appalled. I'm upset that this was even in the book. I never discussed anything or any letters with this gentleman. She didn't say any of that. She has not Meghan has not came out and in defense of herself to say, I had nothing to do with this book. This has nothing to do with me. I didn't coerce with him and get together and give him any information. He has never seen any letters that I have written to King Charles or Charles written to me about this racism information. And I did not give him two names. No, she has not done that. Rewind that, okay? Stop, listening to me. Rewind that back and listen to it a couple of times. And then, keep going at some point. I'm just going to say it again. They planned it. They did it on purpose, allegedly. They planned it. They did it on purpose. Meghan wanted us to know why, so she can gain more sympathy. So she can be looking like, oh, poor is Meghan. They did all this to her again. And not just the racism, because there's some more stuff in the book that she goes in on them. She's the princess in the book. Her and Harry's the prince. He's the king and she's the queen in the book. They are not talked about, nothing negative about them in this book. It's a biased book, Al Reynolds. The book speaks highly of Meghan and Harry. And then when you get to the royals, they're all this horrible traitors, they're racist, they're mean, they're bullies, and embarrassing things that Harry is saying about his father in this book. And this woman is running around with this crap. Enough is enough. Or part 2 will be here next week. She's not going to stop. This is telling me this because I thought she would stop after the Oprah show. I said, oh, okay, she's done. Once she gets that backlash, she ain't coming out to say nothing. No. If anything, she got worse with the curtsy, talking about his father was dead. Meghan said that Harry's father is dead. She said he lost his father in all of this process. No, you alienated him from his family, from his father. And this crap that you're doing right now is putting the icing on the cake. And let's add this stupid stuff about how they were going to call King Charles on his birthday and they would be willing to go to Christmas. Meghan says she's never stepping foot back in the UK and they don't want her. I can't wait to George the Slayer. He's coming. I feel it. I know he's coming with some stuff. But no, you're trying to smooth things over before the book comes out because you know that you are a part of this debacle. Because Meghan is not going to allow anyone to do anything with her name on it unless she approves it. She has told us that over and over again. Look like you want to say her name and then she does it on the world stage. And she ain't coming out and saying nothing. She immediately said something to Germany. She immediately said something about Spotify. She immediately said something about that 2-hour car chase. She is always talking. Now she ain't got nothing to say. She's guilty. It's almost time to go get a little bit.
Of the scandal to a Dutch publisher. Copies of Endgame in the Netherlands were pulled from the shelves last week after the Princess of Wales and the King were accused of being the 2 senior members of the family who raised concerns about the skin colour of Harry and Meghan's first child, Archie. The author, Omi Scobie, has repeatedly denied...
This idiot, Meghan. She didn't say Anne. She didn't say Anne and Sophie. She went after the head people in charge over there, the people that makes decisions, the people that is trying to keep everybody safe over there, the people that determines the future of the kingdom, the people that are head over there. That would. Let me continue.
A book with names in it. But as sources told the Times newspaper, this is a front page story in the Times, that a draft manuscript was sent weeks before publication, which did in fact include the names. The translator interpreted that one rather than the final approved version. Well, joining me in the studio to discuss this, it all has got somewhat technical, let's face it, is royal commentator Fia Hagan, good to see you, and barrister Paula Rowan Adrian, nice to see you both back in the chair. Good to have you. I can't believe we're still talking about this, really.
I'm going to give them a few
However,
minutes.
it boils down now, doesn't it, to a sort of different analysis, Fia, of what's actually happened, who sent what, who's at fault, and all this kind of thing.
Yeah. I'd like to say that I called it.
Yeah.
I did call it last week. And it seemed like the most, thank you. It seemed like the most likely explanation that an earlier draft that had this passage in it, which describes
So what? An earlier draft had it in there. It should have never been in there. So what you called it? We all called it. We all said that he put these names in a book, and now she's trying to act like she's some hero because she called it. No, the problem is that he put them in there in the first place.
names of the two people
Right?
who were named as having concerns over Archie's skin colour. That perhaps there was a paragraph in an earlier draft that made its way to the publishers in error. And it seems that that's what happened. So, of course...
No, it's still stupid. This stupid stuff. I ain't going to be able to take them. Here's the thing. That's not an accident. An accident is putting them in there in the first place. They shouldn't have never been in there. Period. That doesn't make it okay that there was this draft and that draft. No, they didn't say it was a draft. They said that a copy was sent. And did they say earlier? No. They said that copy, I don't really know. I probably need to rewind it.
You know,
and the king were accused of being the two senior members of the family who raised concerns about the skin colour of Harry and Meghan's first child, Archie. The author, Omi Scobie, has repeatedly denied submitting a book with names in it. But a source has told the Times newspaper, this is a front page story in the Times, that a draft manuscript was sent weeks before publication, which did in fact include the names. The translator interpreted that one rather than the
I don't believe that there was a draft copy and then they gave that copy by accident to her. I don't believe that it was planned. That's that BS. And I'm done with them. I don't want to talk about that. I don't want to get all riled up and all ranty because they will make me do that. That kind of communication does, because there's no mistakes. People know draft from final. There's no mistakes. If he sent that copy earlier, then that was the final copy that he sent for them to put in the book. And if he didn't want the names in the book, he shouldn't have put it in there. But Omi Scobie has already lied and said that he never even put the names in the draft. He said, those names were never in there anywhere. And now that they have found the truth, he's still out to be a liar. Am I right? Because they'll just skip over that. They'll skip over that. Let me say that again one more time. OB, because that's what we said we was going to start calling him, and I know that's not his initials. OB said that, I didn't put any names in the book. I never put it in the draft. I never put the names in there. So I don't even know how that could possibly have gotten there, because it wasn't in any of the drafts. It wasn't in any of the drafts. And so now the New York Times is telling us there was a draft copy that went over there. And that draft copy was the final copy, because they never got a new one, obviously. I don't believe it was a draft copy. I believe it was the final copy. I believe they put them names in there, and Omi Scobie's somewhere acting stupid. And now he didn't get caught up in a lie, because he straight up told us he has no idea how they got in there, because he didn't put them in there. So I guess the ghost, the little fairy, came out the sky and said, "Bzzz, let's put those names in there. Let's put those names in there." No. And I'm probably pretty sure. Hold on, guys. Okay, I'm going to cut this one off, okay, because it's 48 minutes. I don't want it 2 hours. I'm going to jump back on. We're going to do another one. Kinsley's in here. She says something that I don't agree with, but, you know, it is what it is. I like what they were saying. There's a lot of videos out there. Honestly, I can just pick like 1,000 of them. This is hot. This is not going to go away. It's never going to go away, especially for the UK. This story here will die here. I give it the rest of this week, and it's over. No one's going to care anymore. We're going to move on. We're going to want another story. But the UK, we will talk about this, because it's a disgrace. It messes with the whole balance of the monarchy. But over here, Meghan is good as her last moment. And there's nothing that she said that is new, other than she named some people. But our whoever thought and came from realized that they were lying, that's not going to change. She's going to lose more people as they realize that she brought up this demon. But this will end, and she will need something else to get Americans' attention. I promise you she does. What's next? She's going to start popping out again at some point, you know? Once it dies down in the U.S., I feel like she's going to start popping up over here. Something. She's going to move on. We will move on. Her story is not strong over here. It's not. And maybe I could be wrong. But because I'm feeling it. I feel like it's Oprah Winfrey all over again. But worse. The deception. The manipulation. Now we are more prone and understand that this is all a fake and facade. And it ain't real. And that no one was treated with malice racism. No one was treated with unconscious bias and all that BS. And everyone knows that I know that this is all Meghan. All roads lead to Meghan. Remember.
This morning is royal commentator Kinsey Schofield. Kinsey, good morning. What are the options currently being considered by the palace?
Okay.
Well,
Sorry, I just said I was closing this out. Listen, I'll be right back. I try to post it if it's, I don't know, I just try to post it when I'm done as quickly as possible. I know that my videos sometimes come in late, and so you won't get them in the morning. I hope you don't miss out on any because they're really great. I'm going to sign off now. I'll see you in a few minutes. Kisses.